Hey guys, Ty here. So Steam VR 1.9 just got released, a big update. I'm actually using it from a while in beta, and that's very interesting because it's actually the first step that we have from a kind of a developer-centered Steam VR to actually something for the real and regular consumption. So in this video, I'm gonna browse together this new update to see what's actually very interesting, what's actually very nice for also the Valve Index consumers, and of course, all the others. So let's jump right in and let's discover this update, right? Here we are in Steam VR Home. As you can see, that unfortunately is the only thing that didn't really change with this update. We still move with the teleportation like before, and we still have all the same kind of interactions that we had before. So what changed? Well, when we hit the Steam VR button, that's where we see all different changes, and the interface look a little more redefined than before, and as you can see is actually even smaller right now, that I consider very nice, and I will show you how to do it. But anyway, you can notice that the design now is a little different. We have this like color gradient over here for the audio that is very nice, and we have different options that we're gonna discover in a second. But the thing that I really want to show you is actually the settings, because when we go on general over here, we have what is actually the big difference is that we can change many things directly from VR, when before we actually had to go through the desktop, go there on settings, and then change them over there. Now, a thing for Valve Index users like me right now is that we can skip and change the refresh rate on the fly. So if you want to go to 120, 90 if the game doesn't run that well, or even 80, well, you can do it, and you're gonna just have a little black screen for half a second, and you're gonna switch. And also we have a display brightness slider over here. I'm not sure you're gonna see the difference, but well, it's very apparent, and when it's 140 it's very bright. And we can change also the resolution and having some super sampling directly from inside the headset. Something very nice as well, because before we had to go actually out or use different apps like FPS VR with their different interface. So let's go to 150 here, and we can see that it's gonna change there as well. So FPS VR still works if you are using it. Also, we have the notification and stuff like that. And another nice thing is that we have advanced settings over here we can show, and many more settings actually will appear. One thing that I'm using is the new near dashboard like we have right now, because the classic is more distant and further away. The near one is smaller, more compact. I actually think that is much more readable than before. It's much nicer. Of course, I wish we could actually use the touch to interact, having it even closer or attach to your palm or hand. That would be amazing, but maybe it's something that we're going to see in 2.0. We can change the desktop scale, the dashboard scale, I'm sorry, and we can change the desktop scale as well, because as you can see about the desktop, now we have desktop 1, desktop 2, really depends on how many screens you actually have. And it's nice because if you have a multi-screen like I do, well, before it was kind of a mess that you had it up there, and now instead each monitor is actually a particular monitor. The only thing is the scale works for both, and it will be nice to have a different scale for different displays because they have different resolutions. And then, well, all the option over here, you can actually put the Steam VR Home on and off directly from here as well. That's very nice. Let's hide the other. Here we have the chaperone system, pretty much the same as before, but it's nicer looking, and you have a little more options than before, nothing advanced. And the controller is the one that I actually don't really like this time, because I think it got a little more complicated. You can show the binding of the controllers, as you can see over here, or clicking over here as well. But to change it and manage, well, it gets a little more complicated, like show the binding goes there. But if you want the old interface, you have to go on custom, select here the application, and then edit, and then you go to the back to the old interface. A little more steps than before, and when you go back, it's just very weird. I hope they're gonna fix this part. Then when you go in video, we have more options, of course, for the video. We have a lot of stuff also when it comes to advanced settings, and we still have the same like before. In audio, you have the headset and manual options. So the output device, if you go in manual, well, you can change with all the one that you have on your PC, or you can do the mirroring directly from here as well. Startup is shut down. Here, there's something very interesting. These are the startup overlay apps. So you can actually select the apps that you want in the overlay. And what is this OBS? I didn't know it existed. Let's put it on. And when you add it, well, you have to restart Steam VR. That means if you put on the Revive dashboard, well, you're gonna have Revive. Sorry, this is Vive. Revive over here, or the same for Vive if you use, like I actually do, Viveport Infinity. And well, these are the options. You can put natural locomotion as well, so it's gonna start directly at the beginning as well. And we have all the other options there. Camera, we have all the options of the camera directly from here, so we don't have to go through the desktop settings like before. And that's actually the big thing about this new update. We don't have to go to the desktop anymore to change settings, because the settings that we have here are exactly the same that we have directly in VR. Nothing dev stuff in camera, and well, double click, we're gonna see our room, as you can see. And yeah, this is the update so far. We can test the camera, and we have, of course, some dev options over here that now are separated from all the other options. And I think that is a good choice overall, because before it could create much more confusion. But yeah, these are the updates that we have overall on the new Steam VR interface 1.9. The only thing that is missing is actually we still don't have a mute button over there. That would be very nice, because we still have to use FPS VR for it, and we still use the big screen interface. It would be nice to see something made directly just for VR, like we have on Oculus, Oculus Quest, or Windows Mixed Reality, for example. Instead, well, we still have to rely on the regular Steam VR interface that is not the best in VR, of course. But yeah, overall, because this is 1.9.13, maybe when we're gonna get to 2.0, we're gonna start to have those different features that we don't have right now. And I think that giving feedbacks to them will be the best thing, because it seems like Valve is actually starting to listening to the feedback from people. Half-Life Alyx is behind the corner, and having an easier interface than before is for sure something that is very useful for all the new people that are gonna come in VR that just got in VR recently. As you might know, everything is sold out right now. There are back orders still to January for the Oculus Quest and the Valve Index, for example. So many new people are gonna arrive in VR, and they're gonna have an environment much easier than before. It will be nice to see also a locomotion option in here instead of the teleport, but Half-Life Alyx was actually created with teleport, and so probably they really didn't have in mind the fact that now people want a real locomotion and they want to be able to actually move. But yeah, that was all, guys. This is the update. I'm gonna do the end over here because, like, why not? And as always, if you liked the video, like, that works. If you didn't like the video, dislike, that works as well. Subscribe to the channel for more about VR tech, and I see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I have to do in this direction. Ciao!